The countries highlighted in red on the map have already been severely affected by climate change. These countries are also some of the poorest in the world, limiting their ability to protect their nations effectively against rising temperatures. According to IMF projections, countries around the equator will be the hardest hit by global warming and could lose as much as 8% of GDP over the next few decades.
We are basing our evidence on historical fluctuations in temperature and what impact they've had on economic activity, but those fluctuations are in size relatively small compared to the absolute change in temperatures that is expected over the next 50 years or so. It's affecting living standards in the continent that can least afford a worsening in living standards.
Africa is still the hottest continent. It also has 70% of the world's arable land, which is key for food security. However, the extreme weather patterns caused by global warming is threatening agricultural development.
When we think about some of the broad reasons why we believe the world should be investing on the continent, we think about things like agriculture. We highlight that sort of as the world looks to feed itself. Here in sub-Saharan Africa, we have by far the largest amount of land that isn't being commercially used for agriculture as compared to other parts of the world. So hotter temperatures are going to make that more complicated.
South Africa is expected to escape extreme temperature rises, but won't escape the knock-on effects.
So for us, maybe the direct impact's a little bit less, but to the extent that South Africa is increasingly integrated with our regional economy, our exports go there, our companies are going there, if they're doing less well as temperatures rise, well, that's going to make it just that much harder for us here in South Africa as well.
Environmentalists are growing concerned that the U.S. will pull out of the Paris Climate Accord. America is one of the largest polluters in the world. The IMF believes it's imperative that all countries play an active role in fighting climate change.
Higher temperatures are not the doing of these countries, it is the doing of others, and the international community has a moral duty to help countries that can least afford it to improve their capacity to cope with it.
The Earth has recorded a steady rise in temperatures since 2010. 2016 was the warmest year on record, with 2017 expected to be close behind. Sumitra Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.